Stalin, Roosevelt, Churchill. These are the power... What? No, hold on a second. Nope, this is just Victoria 3 starting in the Cold War. You guys asked me to play more modded Victoria 3, and after scrolling through the workshop for quite some time, I found this beauty of a mod, which you should check out yourself. I'll post a link in the description to it. Now, we do start in 1950 with the mod, but we could also start in 1946 if we use a sub mod. So let me know in the comment section if you'd like me to do another video with the sub mod, because honestly, both dates are pretty interesting considering the quality of the mod itself. There really are a lot of different starting situations, and I absolutely love the fact that Romania actually starts with more GDP than Eastern Germany, which is one of the weakest nations. It is in fact a mandate of the Union of Social Soviet Republics, which is a code word for their subjects. They're subjects of the USSR. As you would imagine, the big boys are the United States with 184 million GDP from day one, and the USSR with 200 million GDP, as well as the Chinese with 268 million GDP. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This does seem to be a little bit inaccurate because, as far as I remember, around the 1950s, the Americans had a little bit more GDP than the Soviets and the Chinese. Seeing as East Germany is probably the most messed up nation in Europe, and it has Germany in the name, I will be starting as them. Let's go, boys! Again, not sure where we're going, but we have to go somewhere because this is pretty bad, boys. We only have 11 million population, 8 million GDP, which is like nothing compared to our neighbors. West Germany, by contrast, has 5 times more GDP than us at the start date. Don't know, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that East Germany might have gotten the short straw when the peace deal was made after World War II. The mod does have a lot of fully scripted stuff, such as the technologies are pretty well done, and we do start with basically no innovation with a cap of 78, so we're gonna have to really double down on that. I'm gonna go for tertiary education system, just so I get more university levels, and max innovation cap, so we can catch up with our technology at least. We are a part of the Soviet market, which is an insanely massive market. We do have as well French market, British market, American market, and apparently West Germany is in the American market, as is West Austria for that matter. Chinese market too. American market is also Japanese a part of that. Oh, interesting. South Korea too. Philippines. I mean, I guess that's pretty accurate. The Saudis also, and Iran in this time would be in the American market. Again, very accurate for this period. We do have some massive shortages that I suspect are going to be fixed as soon as we unpause. But let's go through our current industry because we don't really have much of that. So I'm going to be making some changes here. Industrial material factory, plastic factory. This is crazy, man. The amount of work that this particular mod has had done to it is just really insane. So let's see if we have electricity right now. We have 4 power plants. Are these 4 power plants in all 4 of our states? They are. Okay, so that means we probably could make use of some of those power plants. Go ahead and do change to the most optimal production method, in essence, is what I'm trying to do here. Oh, artificial selection is huge because right now farms are in high demand. Check out our market. We've basically got no food. Classic communist bloc. Everybody's starving. I know. Fish might be in demand too. We are after all starving, right? Don't think they have many choices really. Holy schnitzel, dude. I just changed my production methods and I went to 31 million GDP from that alone. What? That is a little bit crazy to me, my dudes. That is genuinely crazy to me. And we get an extra 8 innovation from changing our production method for the universities too, apparently. Dude, so much work went into this. Communication network. You have radio, telephone, monochrome television, color television, mobile and GPS network. That is huge, dude. This is so immersive. I really am loving this a lot. I also love the fact that you can have skyscrapers in all your states, not just in one of them. One major issue I'm seeing from day one is the fact that we have no pops. We've got 11,000 and that's pretty much it. And we also don't have much tertiary education and standard of living, so we're gonna have to work on that. Considering that we are a part of the Eastern Bloc, literally called the Eastern Bloc, we maybe will be getting some pops into our country if we improve our standard of living. We do have market unification as the very first principle, so that's good. Ideological truth, and defensive cooperation. Okay, we don't have the best power block principles, but I mean better than nothing, I guess. Oh, hold up. We don't have a NATO power block. We instead have La Francophonie Francophonie, the Commonwealth of Nations, and the Western Bloc, which is pretty much most of the Americas here. Very interesting. And of course, other parts of the world, such as Japan, Iran, and so. Wait, Siam is a part of the Western Bloc? Oh man, really? Basically, everybody else in the world except us is a part of one of the three Western quote-unquote power blocks right now. Okay, let's go ahead and build some universities. That is going to be a priority for me right now. I want to get max out the universities that I can have. Probably a little bit of an overkill though. Maybe we're not going to have that many. Let's see when we manage to get up to 78 and then we'll stop building unis. Oh, hold on a second. Manufacturing law, service sector focus, economic specialization, or manufacturing focus. What the schnitzel is that? Brother, the amount of laws that I'm seeing right now is just crazy. How is the base game not have such an in-depth amount of laws? I feel like this should genuinely be a part of the base. Why is it that with Paradox games, base games have less flavor than mods in general? Not only in Vicky 3, but like EU4, you've got some amazing mods like Ambinar, Antebellum, Toy 4 as well. You have some insane mods. What is happening in this community? Oh god, rigged elections. Well, guess that's better than controlled elections, maybe? Independent judiciary. Okay, so a lot of bonuses and debuffs for most of the laws around here. Plus 2 opposition interest group approval is pretty good actually. Lenient policing -2 radicals and draconian policing -5 radicals and 100 authority. I genuinely see no reason why I would go away from draconian policing right now. Hold on a second. Trade unions banned. Is that what we have in the US? I'm actually curious now. Is this accurate or what? Because pretty sure the US would have trade unions banned or close to it. Limited trade unions. I mean, to be fair, that's true. You do have trade unions in the US, but they are indeed very limited. No concentration camps. Oh man. I mean, yay, good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing we don't have any concentration camps anymore. No free speech. Okay. 200 authority from that though, whilst full free speech increases our technology spread by 25. Oh, you know what? I think that's gonna go for first. Full free speech is absolutely mandatory if we are to be an actual free society, and also we really need the innovation point. All right, we also decided to go for manufacturing focus for now. And what is happening in Berlin? So we got West German Brandenburg. That is 2.4 million GDP, whilst the rest of Berlin is 3.8. Why is this little tiny strip of Berlin basically have 2 million population and 2.4 million GDP with 0 market access? They're so gonna leave that place instantly, aren't they? Do we have any journal entry for this actually? German unification. Oh, we do have one actually. That's crazy. Dude, the mod even has properly scripted journal entries. How much time did it take the modders to do this? Corruption in East Germany apparently is very high. Well, coming from a former Iron Curtain nation, can confirm it's still very high in my particular part of the world. All right, let's also go for the best companies, like the mining company. Everybody loves mining, right? And the heavy industry consortium, we need those industries. We need a lot of heavy industry to catch up with the West. Oh god, fossil fuels are in high demand. Do we even have any possibility to build oil rigs here? Nope, we got like nothing, dude. Maybe I'm just gonna spam some common ore mines. We have a little bit of ore in Saxony. Let's just spam that, and let's do that right now. Actually, gonna delete actually all these universities. Just get 2 of them is enough for now. We also have some construction efficiency debuff, so let's fix that by setting up the decrees. So I'm actually gonna set up pretty much all the decrees imaginable. We're gonna go for infrastructure. We're gonna go for mobility as well. Since we do have basically 3,000 authority, we can afford to get all of these national values, albeit I probably don't really have that many migrants right now. Greener grass might help a little bit. Oh, we have new ones as well. Substitute housing, encourage service industry, silence the social media. Okay, yeah, okay, we're not gonna click all of them yet. Maybe a little bit of farms would be good. Apparently fish is also in pretty high demand, so let's max out the fish in Mecklenburg. And what's happening? Ion paused, and all of a sudden I got 2.5 million peasants. Okay, so I'm guessing you really just need to unpause in order to actually get the real stats of the world. Now that makes me wonder, what are the real stats of the Soviet Union? They start with 500 million GDP. Okay, that is crazy. How about the US in that case? Also 500 million. Okay, so it is a little bit more accurate now after I unpause. I'm assuming I shouldn't have even checked. Yeah, half of the US GDP in China. All right, so it really is a lot more accurate now. Curious about France, 250 mil, and the UK has 380 mil. West Germany, 150. Okay, how about Romania? 32 mil. We're a little bit better than Romania, so I guess it's pretty decently accurate, you could say. Let's go for very low taxation. We're making absolute bank right now. We don't need to tax people. I'm going to remove the consumption tax on wine as well. And since we have so much money, I'm going to be increasing all of these as well here. Plus, I'm going to get more construction sectors since we can afford to get more right now. Wait, there's no cap for construction sectors? No shot. There genuinely is no cap for construction. That is crazy. I could build 1 million construction sectors and nobody would say anything about it. Holy schnitzel, dude. Oh, what? Oh, that is so cool. Construction sectors increase the construction efficiency. So more construction sectors in a state, more construction efficiency in that particular state. That is so nice, dude. Oh, I wish this was part of the base game. Let me get a few more construction sectors in Saxony in that case too, so we get a little bit of construction efficiency in there, since we have most of our mineral industry in Saxony. And then after, we can queue up some coal mines and everything else too here. Domestic transport is a little bit in demand, so let's queue up some railways as well, I guess. Unfortunately, what we're really missing is resources that we cannot actually get in our country, especially oil, which seems to be a big issue for us. In our market right now, the biggest issues are fossil fuels, sulfur, professional services, and corporate services. That is an interesting one. I believe I can actually... Oh, I cannot trade from anyone, of course. We basically have isolationism, don't we? We do have protectionism, okay. But why am I not able to trade with anyone? Is that... Oh, okay, never mind. It's just classic Vicky. Now I'm able. Never mind, boys. We are Gucci. Let's go ahead and import some sulfur from the Greeks and the Norwegians. Apparently, we can as well. Some professional services, not able to get it from anywhere. How about fossil fuels is also a little bit of an issue. So let's see what we could actually build ourselves that produces professional services. Corporate service sector produces corporate services. So let's get one of these in our capital. And by one, I really mean 5. And also let's continue to expand our construction sectors. Another 15 and another 5 here. I love how there's also a global climate change, climate benchmark plus 0 degrees Celsius. Brother, there are so many cool features here. I'm in love with this mod. I might do a lot more videos for this mod, so let me know, guys, if you like me to cover any country in specific. I was thinking about Romania because, you know, I'm Romanian, or about Japan because I live in Japan, or even some of the third world countries wouldn't be such a bad idea. I love the fact that 1950 is such a good year too, seeing as it's a year before decolonization, right? So we don't have that many African nations in 1950, whereas just a few years later, we're gonna have a buttload of African nations. So that's gonna be a very interesting dynamic, seeing the decolonization. I'm actually curious to see if the decolonization happens. Considering I've got so much population, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do 50 construction sectors in Berlin, see what happens once we do that. Oh, we don't have infrastructure. Okay, so we know what happens now. We need more infrastructure. Dude, we really have nothing, do we? We need commercial airplane factories just to get planes. We need processing plants for food. Like, actually, we've got nothing, guys. Basic electronics factory. Holy schnitzel, we're so behind everybody else. But check it out. Just building a little bit of everything and doing a little bit of better management has actually increased our standard of living. Our economy has tanked, though, so maybe we're gonna have to tax a little bit of people. No, that's not how we get money. It's mostly from government dividends that we get money. In fact, it's pretty much only from government dividends that we get money, and minting, of course. So now I think it's time that we actually start focusing on some monetary laws to fix our economy a bit more. Oh god, I love this. Nepotism cabinet, semi-nepotism, meritocratic cabinet, plus 20% taxation capacity. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. I'm also going to try and improve my situation with the Soviets by asking them for market control, all that yada yada, which is going to increase our liberty desire a little bit more. We really want to increase our autonomy if we can. Maybe we would be able to increase our autonomy diplomatically, not having to go to war with the Soviets. That would be the best outcome, really. And the scaling in this mod is crazy. The freaking West Germans are already at 376 million, and the Soviets are 735, whilst the Americans are 800. So the Americans are going to reach $1 trillion in the first 4 years of the campaign. This should be a very interesting game for sure. The rise of Walter Ulbricht, who historically merged the KPD and the SPD. Should we follow the historical path, or do we look for a different future? Maybe we want a little bit of a different future than what historically happened for us, right? We don't really want to have 50 years of domination of the Soviets now, do we? Wait a second. The independence of... Do we actually get independence without having to fight for it? That's the real question. We have two options here. We can also enact cultural exclusion, which I'm down for, actually. I don't mind. We want to have some migrants in here. We decrease our infamy by 5, and we also have conscript army. Okay. We can only do defensive wars now. That is not great. That is very disappointing. But hey, oh, this is so cool. So technically, I believe all of us are now independent nations. And nope, never mind. We're still satellite nations. Okay, so we're not mandates anymore. We're satellite states. That's a different type of subject, but nevertheless, it is still a subject. I got excited for nothing, didn't I? Okay, so I'm assuming we're one level higher than we were before. I would imagine mandate was the equivalent of puppet, while satellite state is the equivalent of protectorate, more or less. And yes, the next level would be independence, I hope. I really hope. No, it's not. Next level, it's client state. So we would become a client state. Wait, are we worse off than we were before? I'm so confused right now. I believe I may have also overdone it with the construction sector. So we scaled down on that significantly now because we were about to collapse our economy. We've got 13 million principal debt, which is bad because that's the equivalent of 84,000 in interest. Holy schnitzel. But hey, we got 100 mil GDP. That's something, right? Whilst our counterparts in West Germany have how much? 415 mil. I mean, technically, we're kind of catching up to them. I've also noticed that there are still Germans in the Polish lands. We've got 1.6 million Germans in Silesia, for example. Another 50,000 here, another 370,000, 200,000. Apparently, there's none in the Russian part. Whatever happened to the Germans in the Russian part? Can we get some answers on that, please? Since we do have a lot of bureaucracy, we probably also want to increase our institution levels. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest. Apparently, Economic Planning Committee gives government dividends efficiency. Holy schnitzel. So if we get this to level 5, we get 50% government dividends efficiency. That is insane. Secession aggravated by foreign agents. Condemn Iran or say nothing of it. I'm going to condemn him. How dare you, Iran? I'm not sure what they did, but they clearly did something bad. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Back to the good old days of Iran. Am I right? Before the Islamic Republic. All right, we can do another company now. I'm not sure what happened to the previous one, but we will be going for the chemical corporation because it does affect coal mines and sulfur, and both of these are in high demand right now in our market, as are plastics. So maybe I should build some plastics factories or whatever they're called. Okay, we're back up to making big bucks, so let's go ahead and expand our construction sectors once more. This time, not as much as we did before, of course. The best countries in the world are Alaska, Suriname, New Zealand, Albania, and East Germany with Mongolia. Somehow I feel like this should not be historically accurate right here. This makes no sense to me. Why is Mongolia better off than the US? Real question. And why is Alaska a separate country, actually? Just realize that. What is happening here? Why is Alaska a self-governing colony and not just flat out a part of the US? What actually is up with that? They got folk religion as their state religion. 38.4 standard of living is actually insane. I don't think I've seen this in a really long time. Oh god. We've got very weak anti-corruption laws. Maybe we should go for decent anti-corruption laws. I feel like that might help a little bit. And why are our laws passing so fast? I'm actually worried now. Why the hell are my laws passing like almost instantly, bro? No free speech. Let's change that. We're going back to full speech, boys. Full free speech, please. Cancels full free speech. We're enacted. Wait, what? Accept the veto drop. Hold on a second. I'm getting... Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I just realized. So if I want to go for full free speech, because I am a technically a communist nation, my leadership instantly vetoes that. That is crazy, brother. How about limited free speech? Maybe we can have a little tiny bit of free speech. Maybe that works. Nope. It got vetoed by the presidentium. Holy schnitzel, we live in a dictator. Guys, I have the suspicion we might be living in a dictatorship here. So I've basically maxed out pretty much my coal mines in Saxony, but I get the vibe that we probably want to max out all the coal coal mines because we're making a buttload of money from coal. And also, I don't know what to do now. If I increase my construction sectors, is that going to make any sort of a difference, really? Let's do another 10 construction sectors, 15, let's say for now, and see what happens, because I don't know. I'm kind of in the fritz here. Like, our economy is going up and down very much, so it's a little bit crazy. Now, we also want to recruit some army, don't we now? We've got fighter planes. Hold on. Now, this has to be dedicated, okay, boys? This has to be dedicated because I just realized we don't have infantry. No, boys. We've got fighters, so we have Air Force, support, and army. So the entirety of the army is mechanized by far, with the least being irregulars, which is the equivalent of the trench infantry. I would assume that's the icon at least. Then support is in essence drone strike force, drone swarm, railgun artillery. This is some massive futuristic stuff. HIMARS, ALBM. I don't even know what ALBM is. That even something that exists? I don't know. I know drones though. That's pretty scary because that's actually pretty accurate. So fighters, subsonic fighters, 20 offense, 40 defense. How about siege artillery? 40 and 20. So I am kind of assuming it's the same like it is in the base game, where you basically have infantry and artillery. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get 20 fighters. Wait, what? Oh, so the difference is that you need to have the equivalent for infantry. So we need 20 infantry, 20 mobile artillery, 20 mobile infantry in order to support 20 fighters. Okay, so it's basically just reverse from base game. We can also give them extra supplies. Why not luxurious supplies? You might be wondering, Ludi, why are you building up an army? Is it because you want to fight against the commies and take back your independence? No, no, overlord communist man. We would totally not do that. Holy dude, bro, what is this, man? This is crazy. 64 million population and freaking half a billion GDP in West Germany already. How about no, West Germany actually has more GDP than France, which has 100 million population. Holy schnitzel. They also have more GDP than England. Dude, that is crazy accurate. Like, actually crazy accurate. And we're starting to see some nations in Africa as well. So I would assume that they did script for the mod some African nations too, which is insane. We've got Nigeria, which is a subject of the British. We've got Ghana, which is a part of the Commonwealth of Nations as well. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes down to independent nations for now, at least. Oh wait, was Sudan here? I don't remember. Sudan is also unaligned. Ooh, interesting. Wait, we got 258 max innovation now. That's insane. And we went up to 25 standard of living. Bros, I'm gonna say it. We officially have a better standard of living than anybody else in the world. I know it's crazy, but hear me out. I feel like we should stay as East Germany, reject all that unification nonsense, and try and get some ridiculous amount of standard of living, whilst our West German counterparts are barely able to reach 20 standard of living. I'm just happily surprised to see how much standard of living we get. I don't even know why. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure why. I'm still basically learning the mod, but I am enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. Let's also go for mechanized infantry, just so we switch away from mobile infantry. And seeing as we have 250 max innovation cap now, we can also perhaps build some more universities. I'd say that's not a bad idea now, is it? Can do electric trains too for extra transport, and let's get some more unis. At the very least, 5 in each state, I'd say. Wait a second. Polish spy network established. How do you establish a spy network? I need to know this. I need to really know this. And I just realized I didn't even get my my interest. Okay, so I'm assuming it's something from here. Oh my god, we have so many options. This is crazy. Nuclear de-escalation, non-aggression pact, multilateral development bank. What are all these options, man? Military base. I'm assuming a lot of this you can do if you're an actual independent nation, of course. Investment rights, pretty standard. Legal union, instigate secessionist movements. Oh my god. Give nuclear ultimatum, quote unquote, white peace. Brother. This is redonkulous. This is actually redonkulous, the amount of options that we have right here. Fund lobbies. So people in West Germany would like us more. Screw it. I'm gonna do it. I've got so much money lying around anyway. Might as well. Demand nuclear disarmament, bro. Imagine little old East Germany demanding the Soviet Union to stop using nukes. That's the most keck thing ever. Holy schnitzel, I just realized they've got 500 standing army and 1,000 more in conscripts, and they're about to reach the first billion GDP. How about the Americans? They already have 1.17 billion. So let's see how much billions we can get by the late part of the campaign. When is the late part of the campaign? When is the last year that we can play up until actually? Wait, so we've got a a pacifist agitator. We can bribe him to retire. We don't really want pacifists now, do we? Also, we got 14 million loyalists out of 16.1 million population. Basically, everybody loves us. Hey, we also went down to medium corruption in the government. Oh, that's huge. Ah, yes. Brings the Flammenwaffe, boys. Brings the Flammenwaffe. Mobilization, supplements. Give them everything. Transport. Give them rail transport, I guess. Literally make our units the strongest out there. Give them machine guns, flamethrowers, disease cattle they can throw around. Everything a modern army needs. How do we have less than 1,000 people that are radical? That's the real question. How does this game even work, man? All right, let's check. We're definitely falling behind West Germany. Kind of a little bit upset, man. I feel jealous here. I feel jealous because West Germany has all the good provinces. You know, they got Westphalia, they have the Ruhr, they have all the population as well. We barely grew in population, only 6 million in 10 years. That's nothing. They've been growing like crazy. Look at that. They had a little bit of a migration increase around the 55, 54, something like that. And they still hold on to West German Brandenburg, which has 5 million GDP and 2 million population. Nothing compared to our side of West German Brandenburg. Well, East German Brandenburg. No population growth policy. How about if we go anti-population growth? We have birth rate minus 10% and we increase. Oh, how do we go for that? That is huge. Nobody wants this though. Literally not a single one of our interest groups would like us to have a pro-population growth policy. Wow. What? Plus 20% minting? Holy yes! Brother, we would increase our minting by 30% in essence. Okay, we already went to amendment. I feel like the laws are passing extremely fast in this mod. How many days? Oh, that's why. It's 5 days per tick. That makes a lot of sense now. Okay, so how much money do we gain there? We went up to 1.75 million in national revenue, which is not bad. Oh, we also have a ton of support for a professional army, actually. Conscript army is not bad, but I feel like professional army might be the way here, especially since we have so much support. We should definitely be passing this pretty much instantly then. I'm not sure how elitist bureaucrats is better than politicized bureaucrats, as in the name itself doesn't seem like this would be better, but somehow we do get better bonuses from elitist bureaucrats. So I guess the committee doesn't want it, of course. They just do not want it. We're gonna go for one setback because I just realized we could have the option of going for the setback and not canceling the law flat out, which might end up with us maybe passing those legislations. So we're gonna have to revisit the freedom of speech law as well. No free speech. We're gonna go for full speech again, and we're gonna just not give a schnitzel about what the committee wants from us, basically. Oh my god, Africa! Holy schnitzel, this is huge! That is actually huge. We have a proper decolonization. Mali unaligned, Nigeria, Mauritania, Ivory Coast, every single African country, with a few exceptions, has appeared. We even have Tanzania, which is Tanzania, obviously. The Portuguese haven't done their part, though, and Rhodesia and Nyasaland is a thing. So this is before the breakup. Oh, this is huge, man. Like, this man, this modding team, I'm assuming, has done their research. They have actually done their research. South Africa also, we don't have Namibia yet, so I'm assuming that's going to happen at some point. Partially planned economic system. What do we have right now? We've got fully planned economic system, which gives a lot of political strength for the trade unions, disables privatization, investment pool, etc., whilst partially planned. Okay, so this is our way of basically moving away from being a full-on communist nation. Screw it. Let's do the historical path. Let's move away from it a little bit. I'm not saying that this is kind of exaggerated, but holy schnitzel, dude, we got 250 innovation, and we can get up to 342. What? Can we even build any more universities at this point? We cannot. We maxed out our universities, so that is just ridiculous. We also got some better prospecting techniques here, and I just saw that we've got up to 10 different types of production methods, all the way to future mines, smart mines, precision explosives, AI guided mining. Dude, how much time did the developers have? Like, this mod clearly took an insanely high amount of time to create by far, so do make sure to check it out. You really are gonna have a lot of fun. I'm genuinely having super high amounts of fun right now. I mean, I get surprised not only by the stuff that I can construct and the laws and the journals, but just the fact that the world feels alive and it follows a little bit of a historical path in the Cold War. It's pretty nice. I also kind of feel like the best way to improve our nation lies in the laws, not so much in demolishing the buildings. Huzzah! Free speech for everybody, except if you say what we don't agree with, you're still gonna go to jail, okay? That's how free speech works, clearly. I also like to see how the Soviet Union is only at 1 billion GDP and struggling to increase that, whilst the Americans are already at 1.8 billion GDP and fast increasing because of the different laws and the fact that they have the option of building outside of their country as well, whereas the Soviets only build within their little sphere of influence, right? So the Eastern Bloc. That's really historical. In fact, I have to say this mod actually follows a very historical path from what I'm noticing here. I was wondering why I wasn't able to build a spy network. Apparently, I need to pass a law that allows me to build a spy network, or at least use the spy network interactions, whatever they're called. Yeah, I'm gonna also say that the Eastern Bloc is not doing great. I mean, Hungary is just literally down to 37 million GDP. Czechoslovakia is a little bit better off of the two, 89 million. Poland's up to 189, and Romania is only at 105. So, oof, not great. Under East German partial planned economy, investment decisions are decentralized. Enterprises are to submit annual plans called techno-promptly plans, stipulating production plans by quarter and month. Okay, so this did happen historically, apparently, and we do have an investment pool that is shown here. And why is my investment pool increasing so fast? It's because I'm adding 700,000 to it. That is ridiculous, man. Why do I have so much money already, bro? I feel like they should really nerf the money part of this game. 28.4 standard of living, by the way. Let's check the standard of living map mode. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, boys. Germany is absolutely amazing. I mean, East Germany, not West Germany. Look at the rest of the world. There's literal parts of the US that are in the red compared to us, struggling in Wyoming and Montana, which does not really surprise me very much. Now, hold on a second. Wasn't Austria supposed to be neutral? Wasn't that one of the things which the Soviets agreed upon, that if Austria stays neutral, doesn't join the West, the East, then they are okay with Western, Eastern Austria joining up? I don't know, man. I feel like Austria might be a little bit of a sussy baka over here. Don't trust the Austrians. Trust me on that. Holy mother, 2.67 million, most of which from government dividends, by the way. Okay, we also have a lot of support for compulsory tertiary schooling, which we've instantly passed. That means we can go up to level 5 education, which is huge, because right now we have 10% tertiary education, which is really good. If you look at the map, everybody's uneducated, at least from a tertiary education point of view, which I would assume means people that have a university degree. Only 10% of our country has a university degree right now. Don't get it wrong, it does imply that most people do have an education. What the hell is this? Chinese flu is going to spread. Okay, hold on a second. This is not 2019, buddy boy. Oh, and by passing the law, we get intelligence services that also give some bonuses as an institution. Can we maybe get multiculturalism? We do have a lot of opposition, frack ton of opposition for it, but we do have 11% success chance. Why is this not progressing though? At all, it's not progressing. I don't know, I'm just gonna cancel it. Chinese flu spreads. Is this event supposed to happen a little bit later in the campaign maybe? Because this is brutal already. I mean, to be fair, we haven't lost that many pops, so it's not that brutal. We have to develop a vaccine. That's gonna cost us 20 million. So we're 1 out of 12 on developing a vaccine. Holy schnitzel, man. We had 10% mortality because of the flu pandemic. Wow, West Germany is literally about to hit 1 billion GDP, and we're basically stagnating around 300. We're going up and below 300 more or less. We've been for the past 2 years actually. Yep, very, very accurate. How about France? Are they also stagnating? They are kind of stagnating around 700 mil. Britain should be a little bit behind that, 550, and USSR is 1.6 billion, almost 3 billion GDP on the United States. Holy schnitzel, man. 200 mil in Canada, 250. What is happening in China? I need to get a report here because Mao Zedong is clearly doing something sneaky. He has less GDP than they start with. I don't know what he's been doing there, but clearly something's been happening and not for the betterment of man. Their tertiary education is insanely low now that I think about it. I think I have an idea of what's happening. If you guys also want to see the POV of China for this mod, I know that a friend of mine, Chum, also has a video with this mod where he plays as China. Check him out. Really, really awesome dude. I really love his editing. One of the best Vicky 3 creators in my opinion, alongside Toby, Smitty, and a lot of other really awesome dudes. We can request return return of homelands from the Soviet Union. Obviously, they do not plan on giving us anything back. It's just funny that we have this as an option. I feel like this mod would actually be really awesome for a mod. Now that I think about it, you guys tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Should I do a multiplayer with this mod with other content creators? Because I feel like this could have a potential for a lot of memes and just a lot of fun overall. Okay, our armies are getting a little bit ready too. We want to increase our capacity a little bit more though. We want to have at least 200 units so we have a say in the world. Right now we don't have much of a say at all. Curious if West Germany's been building up their armies. They have 334. Holy schnitzel, man. Okay, hold on a second there, buddy. Soviets still have the same amount that they pretty much started with though, so they haven't really been increasing that much at all actually. Also gonna opt for a more democratic election system. Surely nothing wrong is gonna come out of this, right guys? Holy mother, man. 354 with 491. I'm honestly just curious to know how much innovation other nations are getting right now. Must be insane, like the Americans, whatever they're getting. Wait a second, that doesn't sound like a German man to me. Willy Brandt? Is this man an American spy? And why is the trade unions in charge of West Germany? I'm not sure how to tell you this, but we also have the trade unions technically in charge. Maybe we should just merge all of our trade unions, huh? Think about that for a second. That's big brain right there. Oh, the global climate has increased in temperature by 0.0476 degrees Celsius. So I guess once we increase to 1 Celsius, we can hold a climate summit, start recycling policies. That's so cool, man. Dude, this mod has so freaking much potential. It's insane. And also we got 4.3 million national revenue as a 4-state nation. And we still have the highest standard of living in the world. Well, at least it dipped a little bit, but we're still above everybody else. So technically, we're still an economic paradise somehow. Or not necessarily an economic one, but a standard of living one, I guess. The East German utopia, some would say. And that's mostly people we pay to say that, in case you're wondering. Well, 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 if it isn't a remodeling of the African realms. Hold on, what the hell is this? Fiji wants me to support their independence. Okay. We do have Mozambique, an independent nation. We have Angola as well, an independent nation, although it does seem to be attacked by South Africa, unfortunately for them. Botswana's a thing. Zambia, Rhodesia, Malawi, Katanga. Hold on a second. I didn't know that was a nation. Did you guys know Katanga existed? I didn't know. Zaire apparently too. Central African Republic. We got little Rwanda, Burundi. Surely Rwanda's not gonna go batshit crazy and murder half of its people at some point, right? Surely not. You know, I always thought Kenya was bigger, but actually it's a pretty tiny nation, isn't it? Oh, and the United Arab Republic. Oh, that's so cool. So this is really accurate actually. Syria and Egypt basically was a country unto itself at some point called the United Arab Republic until it broke off into 2 separate nations, of course, as we know today. Now, this doesn't make much sense though. North Yemen, Arabia. What the hell is this? North, South Yemen, and Arabia. What? What? I do not believe this ever happened. I'm gonna leave it off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun, and I'm curious what other mods you'd like me to play in the future. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, it's official. Vietnam has won the war, and it is now unified under a proper communist society, single-party state. And for some reason, they're at war with the People's Republic of China. Not only that, but they're actually winning, guys. The Vietnamese are kicking the Chinese ass somehow. There's more conflict also here. We've got Kurdistan that sprang out of Iran and just got wiped out in a few seconds. Okay. And we have a new one, Arabistan. The amount of pop-ups we have is just crazy. Oh, and I just saw something really cool. We can impose sanctions on nations. They would transfer a certain amount of money to us by us imposing sanctions, but it increases our infamy by 20. So that's an interesting little mechanic. You know what would be really cool? If we had like a migration treaty with nations where we could just request a certain amount of pops or give special rights to a certain amount of pops to migrate to our lands. So like we could get 500,000 pops from China in exchange for something else. Oh, there's a new block in town, the International Committee. Very interesting. So what kind of power blocks do we have now total? We have Western Bloc, Eastern, Commonwealth of Nations, Francophonie, Latin Bloc, which is the Italian one, and the International Committee. Interesting. No, we started off as one of the worst nations from a technological standpoint, and we ended up being the greatest technological marvel here. 443 innovation and 677 cap, with 19% of our population having a university degree already. Oh, dude, we have the war in Afghanistan. Dude, this is the most historically accurate mod I've ever played in any game ever. I like how Afghanistan is joined by the Turks, and there's a condition for return of Bulgarian Dobroja. Okay. Now, this is cool, though. We actually have the last level of technology here. So we have the siege artillery. We've got the frontline units fighting on both sides. That's so cool to see. Of course, we won that war. And now Afghanistan is a dominion of the USSR, just like it historically happened. Am I right? Oh, no, this is ugly. So the Turkish war is gonna bear some ugly borders. Western Black Sea, Eastern Black Sea, and Kars is gonna become of the USSR. Ooh, that is ugly. No. Now, little do the Soviets know that I've been colluding with the Western powers to get my independence if it doesn't happen through events. I just want to point out we can impose sanctions on other nations and get more money for free. This is such a kick sort of thing. Now, where does that money come from? Do they give it from their treasury? What is the sanctions about? And now, boys, we have the Iranian-Iraqi war of the 80s here too. If we don't get a diplomatic unification of West and East Germany, I'm going to be so disappointed, because that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I don't want to have to go to war with the Soviets for it, but I might need to. Let's see. I'm also going to try and rush for biodegradable plastics. This technology alone is going to be so massive from an economic perspective. So what I've noticed is this particular technology is going to allow us to double our GDP just from the production method changes, which is crazy. Well, now for the first time, we actually have reached our innovation cap, boys. And West Germany is also supporting our independence alongside the Americans and a few other Western Bloc nations. So I'm close to thinking we might be doing that unification before 90s, right? But yeah, the reason for this is actually very silly. So I was not subsidizing the universities before. Now I am. And not only am I getting a lot of innovation from this, but I'm also making a little bit of money, which is pretty cool. Oh, dude, they allowed us to increase our autonomy. Holy schnitzel, man. Oh, that is huge. Okay, what happened though? Because are we actually an independent nation now? Unaligned. No, we got kicked out of the market. Oh, that's bad. Oh, we have our own market. Oh, we're an independent nation. I mean, technically, this is not the worst thing ever, okay? Now, in order not to collapse economically, we got to join another market. Our government has apparently collapsed because of it too, so let's try and fix it one at a time. We literally went down from 500 mil to 92 mil. Holy schnitzel. All right, let me go ahead and export some stuff to other markets now. I don't know if we can function like this. We need a lot of bureaucracy to cover all of these trade routes right now. The Cold War is over. Okay, hold on. So we do have a point in the campaign when the Cold War officially is going to be over. We've got already a non-aligned movement with 124 members, and we're slowly recovering our economy too. So right now we're 15 in the world and rising. I'm going to invite them to my currency union. Oh, they denied that. Hold on a second. What if I invite them? I'm going to support their independence first off. But what if I invite them to the currency union with an obligation? Huh? One step closer towards a united Germany. Let's go. I also love the fact that they literally have 2 billion GDP and I'm struggling to get 200 million, bro. Like, come on. I still have the highest standard of living in the world somehow, though. Okay, finally, we're on the positive with our budget as well. Jesus Christ, I just noticed. We're assimilating people insanely fast. 176,000 a month get assimilated. Holy schnitzel, dude. Hey, you know what? If we don't get the unification, at the very least, we managed to get up to 32.8 standard of living, which is pretty impressive, okay? It's not every day that you manage to go above 30 in pretty much any campaign, let's be honest here, right? All right, we got an extra 2 universities, so we're gonna be spamming the schnitzel out of this. We do have the most educado people in the world. We have at least that going for us, basically, right? End of communism in East Germany. I freaking knew they scripted this, bro. I freaking knew this, man. So we could choose a different future. No, we're gonna go down the historical path, and we just got rid of communism. Oh my god, we are so freaking on. We are absolutely on board. Look at all those laws that we just passed that absolutely definitely improve our situation. We just got minus 3.6 thousand authority. Holy shit. We might have to fix a few things here, boys. We might just have to fix a few things. But hey, oh wait, what? Game over, you've been annexed? Oh my god. Did I just get annexed by West Germany? The end game for me was to be annexed by West Germany. So according to the game, West Germany is the main protagonist here. And we're just, yeah, okay. No, it's not even West Germany. Germany emerged with 2.59 billion and it just annexed us. It flat out just annexed us. Does that mean I lost the game? By going down the historical path, I quite literally lost the game. Brother, come on, come on. Hey, you know what? Technically, we're Germany, all right? So, we have 2.9 billion GDP. How about the Soviets? They got 4 billion. How about the US? They got 5 billion. Okay, I see the trend. 1.5 in France, a little bit less than us by 1 billion. 1 billion less in the British Isles as well. 500 mil in Spain. 1.2 billion in Italy. You know what? 300 million GDP in Romania. Okay, I'll say it. I'll say it. When it comes to scaling and pacing, not only are the historical events really just spot on for this mod, but the pacing itself is really good. Like, the nations do follow a very historical path, in my opinion. And let me check also tertiary education, who's the most educated. I think it should be us though. No, the British have more than us. Oh, it's because of those West German uneducated peeps, I'm assuming here. Well, boys, I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun actually recording this, so let me know if you want to see more of this mod or maybe the modern day mod, which I saw and I have my eyes on as well. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.